Imagine stepping into a booth and, with the press of a button, instantly traveling thousands of miles to a new destination. No more traffic, no more airports, no more long commutes. Teleportation is a concept that has captured our imaginations for decades. But what if teleportation was real? How would it work? What challenges would we face, and how would it change our world? In this video, we're going to explore the technological possibilities of teleportation, dive into the scientific challenges, and discuss how it could transform everything from daily life to global economics. So, get ready for a journey into the future as we ask the question, what if teleportation was real? Part 1. The sci-fi dream of teleportation. Teleportation is a staple of science fiction. From Star Trek's famous transporters to the fly movies that delve into its horrific possibilities, teleportation has been imagined in various ways. In these fictional universes, teleportation often seems straightforward. Break down matter, transmit it, and reconstruct it somewhere else. But what would it really take to teleport a person? In our current understanding of physics, there are two primary ideas for how teleportation could work: classical transportation and quantum teleportation. Let's break down what each of these means. Part 2. Classical transportation: disassemble and reassemble. Classical transportation would involve scanning and disassembling an object, let's say a person, at the atomic level, transmitting the information about their entire structure, and then reconstructing them at a different location using the same material or compatible resources. Think of it as faxing yourself from one place to another. But this raises a ton of questions. First, there's the sheer amount of information. The human body consists of around 37 trillion cells, each made up of countless atoms. To scan and record the position and state of every single atom in a human being would require an unimaginable amount of data, around 2.6 zettabytes or a billion terabytes. Then there's the problem of actually putting it all back together perfectly in the right sequence without any data loss or errors. Even a minor mistake could have serious consequences, like changing someone's memories, personality, or even causing a fatal error in reassembly. And here's a philosophical question. If you disassemble a person entirely and reassemble them elsewhere, is it really the same person, or would it be a copy that thinks it's the original while the real you has been destroyed? Part 3. Quantum teleportation: instantaneous transmission. Now let's talk about a different approach: quantum teleportation. In the quantum world, particles can be linked through a phenomenon known as entanglement, where the state of one particle instantly affects the state of another, even if they're light years apart. This could allow for information to be transmitted instantaneously. But here's the catch. Quantum teleportation doesn't actually transport matter. It transmits information about the quantum state of a particle to another particle, which would then take on the same state. So, while quantum teleportation works for transferring information, it wouldn't exactly be like stepping into a machine and appearing somewhere else. In fact, experiments in quantum teleportation have only succeeded on a very small scale, involving particles of light called photons. The furthest distance we've achieved is around 1,200 kilometers, which is still far from teleporting a human being, or even a grain of sand. Part 4. Energy requirements: the power of teleportation. Regardless of which method is used, teleportation would require an enormous amount of energy. To disassemble and reassemble a person would likely demand energy levels comparable to those required for nuclear fusion. Imagine trying to break down all the atomic bonds in a human body and then putting them back together. That's a lot of energy. And with quantum teleportation, the problem is no less daunting. The amount of data and precision involved in transferring the quantum states of a human body would require incredibly advanced computers and power sources, ones that far exceed anything we have today. So, before teleportation can become a reality, we would need massive breakthroughs in energy production, data transmission, and computational power. Our Part 5. The ethical and legal challenges. Let's say we solve the technical problems. Now we have to grapple with the ethical and legal issues. If teleportation works by copying a person's atomic structure and then destroying the original, are we essentially killing someone and replacing them with a clone? What rights would that teleported person have? Would they legally be the same person? And what about privacy and security? If our entire molecular structure could be scanned and transmitted, could this data be hacked or tampered with? Teleportation could open up a whole new world of biodata theft and even physical manipulation. How would we safeguard our literal selves from being altered or duplicated without our consent? These questions may seem far-fetched now, but if teleportation ever becomes possible, society would need to rethink many fundamental ideas about identity, individuality, and human rights. Part 6. How teleportation would change the world. If we could overcome all these challenges, the implications for our world would be enormous. Transportation and travel as we know them would become obsolete. The concept of distance itself would change. You could work in New York and live in Tokyo with no commute time at all. It would transform the global economy. Entire industries would become obsolete: airlines, railways, shipping, while new industries would emerge to deal with teleportation technology and services. Teleportation could also lead to economic inequalities. Those who can afford the technology might live vastly different lives compared to those who cannot. And then there's the environmental impact. On one hand, teleportation could reduce carbon emissions by eliminating the need for fossil fuel-based transportation. But the energy required for teleportation itself could be immense, potentially necessitating entirely new ways of generating power sustainably. Conclusion: a glimpse into the future. Teleportation is still a long way from being real, but thinking about it challenges us to reconsider the limits of what's possible. It's a thought experiment that pushes the boundaries of science and philosophy, making us question not only how we might get there, but whether we should. The dream of instant travel remains a tantalizing vision of the future. And who knows, with the rapid advancements in quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and energy generation, what seems like pure science fiction today could one day become a reality. Until then, teleportation remains in the realm of our imagination, a future technology that inspires us to explore the limits of human potential. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future explorations of the extraordinary possibilities of science and technology. Let us know in the comments, would you be the first to try teleportation if it became real, or would you wait until all the bugs were worked out? We'd love to hear your thoughts.